Hello dear viewers and subscribers of the Edible Fly channel. So one of the questions that we've been asked for a while is what is the uh, maximum speed that this particular build can develop. Once again, this is Quantum XJ470 quadcopter. Now what we're using here is Sunnysky 3508 motors with the 12-inch props. And you can see that 12-inch props is probably the maximum that this particular build can take. We'll give it a try and let's see what we'll find out. So let's have a look at the data logs. We go to data flash logs, which is in the mission planner. So I'm using 1.3.32 at the moment. We'll go, well, first of all, you download the data flash log from, or through the nav link from your quadcopter, which I've did already. The next thing is you press review a log. There we go, we'll press the review. Go to the log. There it is. So here's the log, and well, as far as I know, the only way to detect the speed, the actual speed of the aircraft, is to go to GPS. So the GPS menu here, you open the plus, you click on the SPD, which stands for speed. So here's the record of the speeds that were detected in the quadcopter during its flight. So you can clearly see, there were two parts of the flight. The first part of the flight was in the stabilized mode. The second part of the flight was in the loiter mode. So you can see that in the loiter mode, the speed of the aircraft is clearly limited. So the maximum speed it reaches is about 5 meters per second, which is just under 20 kilometers per hour. So that's the maximum speed that you can reach in the loiter mode, the same as RTL. Now, these are our experimentations in the stabilized mode, and well, you can see 4 distinct peaks, and then there's a couple of other trials that I did afterwards. Now I was getting braver and braver. As you can see, the first one was at 10 meters per second, next one's 15, and then the other two are around 20 meters per second. So let's have a closer look. So these are the two extreme peaks, and you can see that, well, first of all, let's right click and show point values. So when you approach the point, you can see that the maximum speed that I've achieved on this quadcopter is 20.58. Which is right about 75 kilometers per hour. Now, once again, there's a bit of a latency in the GPS speed detection, so it's quite reasonable to assume that the speed was more like 80. And another interesting point, so let's just unzoom it and do a different zoom. Here we go. So another interesting point is that you can see that it was so these are seconds. Now if you start from here, which is round about the zero speed, and once again due to the latency it shows 5, but really was more like a 0 speed, especially taking into account that it actually turns around. And to 80 we go in about 4 seconds, which is interesting. Now let's have a look at the battery logs. So that's another interesting point about this investigation. Well, you can say that the voltage actually dropped under 13 volt, and that's on the 4S battery. So it probably won't be able to sustain this kind of accelerations for too long, especially if you set the fail-safe by the voltage. Now, another interesting thing is to actually have a look at the current. So if you add the current, so as you can see, the current actually reached 250 amps, which is quite extreme.
So here we go, here's our quadcopter all in one piece after this exercise. And the other problem that I could notice was with the prop. As you can see, it's not connected as well as it used to be. Otherwise it's all good. All the motors attached as they should be, although only 2 screws are connected, which is interesting. And the rest of the frame is in a good shape. So just a couple of words about the power distribution and general wiring in this quad. Now, as you can see, there's a power distribution board inside. Not quite sure. Let me get it in a good focus. So the big wires are connected to the power sensor, which is this fella, and that is the one that gives the information to the flight controller about the voltage and current. There's one more connector here, which is useful if you don't want to enable ESCs at some point. Now the wires, the thick wires, you can see the thick wires going, and they've been soldered to the power distribution board. The power distribution board is just a standard Hobby King power distribution board, which is obviously is adequate for this build. And what else can we say? The rest is connected in the usual, with the usual bullet plugs, including the ESCs, and it all seems to handle this kind of currents quite well.